Hi, my name is Sarah Edwards-Knight and I am an independent consultant and area manager with this wonderful brand Arbonne. And you may have been sent this link because somebody out there thinks you would be fabulous at this business, and I'm here today just to explain a little bit more about how it works. Up until May this year, I was the head of hair and makeup at Sky Television. I'd been there for 15 long years, really happy. I was the manager there for 5 years. And I just felt like in May it was the time to leave because I'd had my Arbonne business for 18 months. And I was first introduced to the brand actually through the baby care. So I have 3 children. I have a 4-year-old boy and I have twins that are 2.5. So life is pretty hectic. And whilst on maternity leave, I was introduced to the baby care. And my kids are really eczema prone, so I was always kind of going off to the GP to get hydrocortisone and other kind of chemical-based products to treat their skin. And so to be offered something kind of more natural, I was really excited by it, and I was really, really impressed with the products. Their skin condition kind of cleared up almost instantly. So I was like, okay, I like these products, and I purchased them. And my sponsor who introduced me to the brand said, well, if you like the baby products and you are a hair and makeup artist, why don't you try the makeup range? And you know, I was kind of a bit judgmental in the beginning. I'm used to using sort of the top brands, Charlotte Tilbury, Chanel, MAC. And I was like, how is this little vegan brand going to compare? And so I took the products away for the weekend and I tried them all, and I absolutely fell in love with them. And I thought, you know what, there's a wave of interest at the moment in not only vegan but sort of more green products, and I'd noticed that anyway. And so at the time I thought, I was on maternity leave, I was kind of a bit anxious about going back to my full-time role. I loved my position at Sky and I'd been there for so long, and I'd always said that I would probably be there until retirement. But actually the thought of going back after maternity leave was kind of playing on my mind a bit. And so I thought maybe now was the right time to try something. And I said to myself at the beginning, I'm going to give myself a year and then make a decision on it. And a year into my business, my team had grown, and it's all becoming really, really exciting. So back in May this year, I decided to hand my notice in and leave my role there to concentrate more firmly on my Arbonne business. So I'm going to spend a bit of time now talking to you about what it actually means and a bit more about the company kind of history really. So we are a 37-year-old company. We have a Swiss heritage, and for any of you that know anything about Swiss products, they are so luxurious and really the best of the best. So think of Swiss chocolates or watches or anything else really. And kind of the brands that are out there which are Swiss formulated are kind of sitting at the highest kind of price point in department stores, for example. So we are a 37-year-old company, but for almost all of that time we have been predominantly in America. And then 10 years ago we launched in the UK and Australia. We're also in Canada. New Zealand we launched last year, which was really exciting, and also Taiwan. And Taiwan is considered to be the gateway to Asia, so that's really exciting as well. And then later this year we launched into Germany, which I'll touch upon a little bit later. So a guy called Peter Mork founded this business 37 years ago, and he was a real visionary and a trailblazer at the time. He was already thinking about green products, vegan products, sustainability, ethically minded production of products before it was cool or trendy to do so. And we have always been vegan. We've never ever tested on animals. So lots of brands are now popping up that don't test on animals, and that's wonderful, but we never have, so we've got a real credibility about the brand. So our head of formulation of products at Arbonne is a guy called Dr. Peter McTravis. And many years ago he used to work for Aveda and was kind of responsible for the big boom in business that they had in terms of their plant-based sort of shampoos, conditioners and that kind of thing. And when they were taken over by Estee Lauder, he decided to jump ship. And he basically had the pick of the bunch of green companies that he could have gone to, and he chose Arbonne, which is really super exciting. And he is responsible for all of the groundbreaking products that are coming onto the market right now. So it's a really exciting time with him at the helm of our production. So I'll just touch on the product advantage here at Arbonne for you now. And it's important to think about the kind of things that we formulate without. So we don't use parabens. A paraben is a synthetic preservative. It can extend the shelf life of a product to up to 7 years. So instead we use natural preservatives like bilberries and blueberries. And because of that we have a slightly shorter shelf life, but everything kind of in that product is coming from sort of more of a naturally derived place. We also formulate without mineral oil, and mineral oil itself is a byproduct from the petrol industry. So sort of the big petrol companies, for example, it's cheaper for them to sell off mineral oil, which is a byproduct, as a cheap, bulky filling agent to cosmetic companies than it is to actually dispose of it, which is kind of crazy, isn't it? That, you know, the majority of your product is actually a byproduct of petrol, and would you really want that on your skin? So we formulate without mineral oil as well. Lots of kind of fragrances and colourings and flavourings we formulate without as well. And the fact that we never, ever, ever test on animals is something that's really close to my heart. And as I said in the beginning, there is more and more call for people wanting to use products that don't test on animals. And I think in this day and age, you know, why would you want any animal to come to any kind of suffering for the sake of your beauty? And for me, that's something that's really, really important. So in terms of the whole range of products that we do, so obviously something that is of interest to me is makeup and skincare, because that's kind of what I do and that's what I've done for the last 15 years. But we have a whole nutrition range, a baby range, hair care range. We've kind of got something for everyone. So if you take a shower in the morning, which I'm sure everyone that's watching this video has, I'd like to think you have anyway, then there is something for you. You know, whether you clean your teeth, use deodorant, you take a protein shake because you like going to the gym and working out, you know, there really is something for everyone. So if you're thinking that this is a business opportunity and you're thinking, well, you know, I don't really have the right kind of clients, or I don't think I'll know anybody that will be interested in the products, you really do, because everyone uses these products on a day-to-day basis. And the best way to actually start your business, bearing this in mind, is, you know, we use these products every day, buying them from our local supermarket. So the way I started my business was I just stopped buying the products from my local Boots or Superdrug, and instead I invested in my own business. So I bought from my own shop. So now my bathroom, and it has been since I've started this business, is just completely full of Arbonne. And then the next thing to do is to share those products with other people. So it might be that somebody's popped round to your house and they've seen your kind of array of, you know, hand wash and shampoo, and they've said, oh, well, you know, I'd quite like to try that. Or you can do bag drops for 3 or 4 days where people can try the products. Or you can do what I do, set up kind of makeup workshops. I do that once a month at my local vegan cafe, and I also do that kind of on a personal basis, going around to people's houses as well. And I think that's the key, is that if you allow people to feel these products, they will fall in love with them. So if you're worried about being a salesperson, and I'm not a salesperson, the thought of kind of selling to people kind of, you know, didn't ever really sit very well with me. But if you allow people to try the products, 9 times out of 10 they will come back and they will say, I love them, and how do I buy? And then it opens up that question for you, and you don't have to go in with the hard sell. So I think, yes, stop using what you were using, start sharing the products with other people. That's the best way to start your business. So last year in Vegas, which is where we hold our global conference every year, which in itself is really exciting, but last year we launched our first non-consumable product, which is our skincare device, the Genius Ultra device. And this is an amazing add-on to the RE9 package, because a client can use this in the morning and in the evening, and it vibrates using ultrasound and thermal technology to allow the product to penetrate to an even deeper level. So it just makes those products, which are already fabulous, more effective. So that was a really exciting addition to our regular product line. So why this business and why now? Well, I think because it falls into a couple of categories, really. So the fact that it's on an online system means that in this day and age, when people don't really want to traipse around the shops, particularly at Christmas time, pay for parking and all of that, you can literally just click on a link that takes you to my website and purchase the product that way. So perhaps somebody might come to one of my workshops and have a feel of all the products, and say they buy 5 products that they love, and I'm involved in that process. If they then run out of their mascara or their shampoo every month, they then go onto my website and they click on buy the product, and then I earn a commission off that resale, having not done any extra work for it. So that's where it really comes into play. Also, by sitting in the health and wellness industry means we're really well placed, because the health and wellness sector accounts for $3 trillion. I mean, that's an incredible amount of money, and we're sitting really nicely in that sector. And then one of the reasons why I got involved in this business was because I wanted to spend more time with my children at home, watching them grow up. So the subject of time leverage is something that I hadn't really ever thought about or understood before, but now I'm really, really experiencing it. So before, in my old role at Sky, if I worked 10 hours, I would get paid for 10 hours. So 10 hours really is kind of, and it changes from week to week, is kind of what I put into my Arbonne business because I'm working it part-time. So instead of getting paid for those 10 hours that I'm working, because I now have a growing team and my team is kind of 40 strong at the moment, if all of those 40 consultants put in 10 hours a week for their business, I then get paid on all of that. So I get paid on 400 hours of business, having only put in 10 hours myself. So that's really incredible, and it's building up that kind of residual income so that if I want to go on holiday for a whole month, and if I don't necessarily work myself during that time, my business is still earning an income, which is really exciting. So a big thing to talk about is social marketing, or network marketing as you may have heard it. So when you take a classic brand in store, you go from the manufacturer to the wholesaler to the warehouser, all the way through to the delivery man, to the shop floor, the advertising, the marketing, and all of those kind of middlemen until it actually gets to the consumer. But whereas with Arbonne, you go from the manufacturer through an independent consultant like myself and straight to the consumer. So what that does is it cuts out all of the price from the middle, which means it drives the price down. So for a luxury product, so in store we'd probably sit alongside Crème de la Mer or La Prairie or some of those really luxury Swiss formulated brands. But because we use social marketing as kind of the transportation to get to the consumer, that kind of keeps the price low. So if you think about on a weekly basis who you recommend a good film to, or a good book, or a nice restaurant, kind of we're all social marketers. We do this every day. We are networking the whole time, and I can't tell you how many brides I've made up over the years, for example, or presenters, and then given them a long list of products to take away with them to MAC or to somewhere else. And I get no commission out of that at all. It's just because I've used those products and they've liked them. Whereas now, if there's products that I've used that my clients have personally liked, I now get a commission on those sales, which is amazing. And the thing I like most about social marketing is the fact that in this kind of Instagram world that we live in, people prefer to buy off their friends or even a stranger via social media than because, say, Kate Winslet is the face of Lancôme. We're not really impressed by these big billboard campaigns anymore because we know that these celebrities are paid a lot of money to be the face of these brands. And whereas you're much likely to take the opinion of your best friend saying, oh, I love this mascara, it's the best mascara I've ever used. So for that reason, we're really well placed because that's part of what we do, and it's the fabric of kind of our Arbonne businesses. So how do you get involved with this fabulous business? Well, there are 3 ways. The first way is to become an independent consultant like myself, and that costs £56. And that £56 basically buys you a business in a box. So you get your web link to your own personalised page, which shows the full product range, and your clients can go onto that link and buy from you. It also gives you 10 brochures and 10 RE9 sample packs, which is our flagship anti-aging range, which we discussed earlier. And you also get a big fat business pack, which you can work your way through at your own speed. And so your business is your business. You are your own boss. It's up to you how you run it. It's kind of your rules, really, which is really nice. So the second way to get involved is to become a preferred client, and that's a £17 membership for the year, and you get 20 to 40% off all of your products for the whole year, and often get treated very well by your sponsor as well. And the third way to get involved is to host a party. So if you're listening to this video and you think, yeah, the business isn't for me, it's not my cup of tea, or even you're like, I don't think I would even buy that amount of products for it to be worth becoming a preferred client, for example, you could perhaps support your friend that may have introduced you to this video by becoming a host. So you could host a makeup workshop, gather all the girlies around, have a bit of fizz, and support your friend in that way so that they can share their products to your network. So they're the 3 ways that you can get involved. So once you have said yes to this business, how do you get to the top? Well, they say it's a 3 to 5 year plan to get to the national vice president level. It's certainly not a get rich quick scheme. You're not going to be doing this business for a year and get to the top. I think there are examples across the whole business where people have done so really quickly or really slowly. It's basically completely effort based, so it's on your terms really. But you start as an independent consultant, then the next level up from that is district manager. And at this level, you start being paid an override on your team and also on the products that you purchase. So if I'm making a purchase for my bathroom, for example, shampoos and conditioners, at independent consultant level, you will get 35% off those purchases. But at district manager level, you will then get paid an 8% override back. So it's almost like you're being paid to restock your bathroom, which is amazing. So the next level is area manager, which is the level I'm at now. So it took me 2 months to get to district, and then it took me almost exactly a year to get to area manager. The average earnings for area manager are between £800 and £2,000. So at this level, it starts to become life-changing. And it was actually not until I got to area manager that I decided that now was the time to quit my full-time role at Sky. So, and at this level also what's really exciting is your business becomes willable. So you don't like to think about those kind of eventualities, but what it means is that if I wasn't here and if my business was booming, I could then leave all the profits month in to my family, which is amazing. It wouldn't just stop if I wasn't here. The next level up from that is regional vice president, and at all of these levels there are kind of ways in which you can bonus as well, so you can add more cash into your paychecks. But when you get to regional vice president, you get a £500 cash bonus per month to buy yourself a white Mercedes. And it's white because it kind of sits within kind of our tagline, which is pure, safe and beneficial, and it kind of is reflective of that. And again, you get a greater override on your team and on your purchases as well. And then, so I think the average for getting to region is about 3 years. And then the next level up from that is national vice president, which is really exciting. And I think the average for this is 4 to 5 years. I think those that have been in the business for sort of 6 to 8 years in this country, in the UK, are earning in excess of 30,000. So, I mean, we're talking about a serious amount of money when you get to that point. And then your cash bonus also increases so that you can upgrade your white Mercedes as well. So they are kind of the 4 levels of management in Arbonne. So as I touched on at the beginning, we are currently in 7 territories, and this is the most exciting point for me because we are only really scratching the surface and we are at the start of our globalisation plan. So last year we launched into Poland and Taiwan, and then this year we are launching into Germany, which is really, really exciting. And Germany is quite well known for kind of embracing the network marketing industry, so we're really excited about launching there. So at the moment we're not really a household brand, even though we have a 37-year-old kind of history, which is incredible. But in 10 years' time, almost everyone will have heard of Arbonne, and we will be popping up in all sorts of countries. So if you're thinking, I don't know anyone in the UK, or half the people down my road are already Arbonne consultants or whatever, if you were born in Italy and you have a massive network in Italy, it may be that that's where your business is going to boom, and maybe because you're introducing somebody in Germany or Italy or Spain or wherever it may be, and then they run with the business, you will then earn an income off that entire business. So I have 3 consultants in New Zealand, so already I have a global business, which is really exciting. And all it takes is one person from within your team to know somebody in one of those new territories to really explode your business. So that's really, really exciting. So in a nutshell, what does this business offer? It offers financial freedom so you can make the choices that you want to make. It offers time freedom as well, which for me was the biggest thing. I want to spend more time at home with my kids day in, day out, whilst earning a living. And then lastly, I'd like to say how fun this business is. On my team, I have my sister-in-law, my sister, my best friend, and I can work with these people day in, day out. We have the best parties. We go to Vegas every year for our global conference. It's so much fun, and unlike any other kind of sales environment, we're all rooting for each other to do well. I feel kind of completely supported by my sidelines, people that actually have nothing to do with generating an income from my business. But this business is all about sharing, and the more you kind of give, the more you receive, and that's why I really love it. Someone once described this business as a self-development business wrapped up as a lipstick business, and I kind of can see why they've said that now, because over the last 18 months, I think I probably read 20 books on audiobooks, And for the last 5 years, I don't think I've ever sat down and read a book, and that's probably due to the fact that I was a busy mum or kind of a busy manager in a corporate role. I had never sat down and read a book for that amount of time. But within the last 18 months, I've read some incredible books by some incredible authors, and all about kind of building my own business, becoming kind of maybe a stronger, more confident person as well. And so earlier on this year, I stood up in front of, I think it was 200 people at one of our Arbonne conferences and trained them on a subject. And you know, if you said that to me 3 years ago, I would have said, no way, that would be too scary. So I think the fact that this business can earn you an income and spend more time with your family and all of that, I think I've also grown as a person, which is incredible. And I think as a leader, especially when you have a growing team, it's important that you are able to lead and inspire and motivate in the right way as well. So that's just amazing. So what's the worst that could happen? You could spend £56 on a business and then in a year's time decide that it's not for you. You may have a few products that you just use up and that's the end of your Arbonne story. But what's the best that could happen is that you could develop this amazing, global, life-changing business where you get to work with your friends and family every day and just have the best fun ever. So really, you know, it's completely up to you. You can talk to me directly or you can go back to the person that introduced you to this link. But I hope you've enjoyed it. See you later, bye.